The 12th Street Rag. This is a ragtime piece written in 1919, and most of us would recognize it from the SpongeBob cartoon. In the SpongeBob version, they are playing in the key of E, and the main instrument they're using is a lap steel to give it a really Hawaiian sound. I had some requests to arrange this for ukulele, so I decided to put it in the key of C. The voicings fit a little bit better, and we can get all those interesting little energetic parts happening here. So let's break it down, and I'll start with the introduction. Starts with a chromatic set of notes on the second string. It's the second, third, and fourth frets. And I start with my middle finger on the third fret. Here I go. And I hit a G chord. So a second time. And a G7. Let's hear that again without me talking through it. When you strum those chords, give it a nice, solid attack. So it goes, and I actually try to have it be staccato so the notes are cut off short. And I do that by just lifting up my fingers. Also touch the strings with my right hand, and it cuts the chord right off. Now we'll move on to the main part of the song, and the first section goes back and forth between C and G7 chords with a few variations in there. So starts out, the first two measures are a C chord, and I strum on the first beat right across the strings with my thumb. And then I'm using my index and middle fingers to pick out the rest of the melody. And so this is all eighth notes. So I'll count that out loud. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So notice I was strumming on beat 1, and then my index and middle fingers are picking out the rest of the notes through the measure. Now I switch to a G7, except it's a G7 plus my little finger on the third fret on the first string, which briefly makes it a G7 suspended 4, but I pick it up right away, and so it doesn't stay suspended for long. Here we go. Sounds, the first measure is the same as the C measure. Now I do a strum. So that strum measure starts with a quarter note picked on the first string, and then I go triplet, and then another strum on an eighth note, another eighth note picked upwards, and then strum down for a quarter note. All together. 1, triplet, down, up, down. Here's that entire first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we go on to the second line, still on G7. And back to C. And that's actually a C6. All the open strings together make a C6. And then we've got our triplet strum in there. So, okay, then next line, still on C. Back to G7. The next section starts with a D7 chord, and I'm not strumming all the strings here. I'm just trying to catch the first three. And we're going to do kind of a climbing chromatic chord. You could say it's like going from D7 up to F7, and I go, okay, so this I'm barring my index finger across the first three, and my third finger is on the second string, 2 frets higher. Now I'm climbing up a fret at a time, second fret, third fret. So that sounds like. And here's G7, and then I'm going to stretch that G7 out so there's a fret space between my first finger and my other 2 fingers. Then we're going to go moving up chromatically a couple more frets. So it sounds like this. And then we're back to playing our C. Our next line, still on G7. C. Strum. We're entering the last section here, and so we'll have a C chord and then just jump up and catch the 5th fret, adding a 9th to the chord for a second. Now I'm dropping down to a C7, then an F chord, add my little finger, so it sounds like, and then F minor. So if you're familiar with the E minor chord, which would be here at the 2nd fret, you go up a fret, and then I'm also wanting to cover the 4th string. And we're going to do all 8th notes except the beat 4, we're playing a quarter note. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and back to C. A7, D7, G7, C, G7, C, C6, C. I'll play that up to a little bit more speed here, those last 2 lines. C, A7. And that's 12th Street Rag. Put some work into it. I think you'll enjoy playing it, and we'll see you next time.